Welcome to SOBradio, your soundtrack to standing on business. My name is Manny, your host, and I am here today with our new co-producer, co-host, Erica. Erica, would you like to introduce yourself?
What's up, everybody? I'm Erica. I guess what else do you want me to say?
Yeah, tell us a little bit about you being on the show, and then I would love to jump into the next segment.
Yes, so I am new to the show. Thank you for introducing me, Manny. And I have a media background. I'm a writer and creator and lover of music, and of course, standing on business.
Amazing. Well, this week we're going to go ahead and introduce a new segment called Are They Standing on Business? Where we're not necessarily saying whether or not something is good or bad. We just want to see if their actions match up to their value and what they're trying to do actually lands. So today I'm going to talk about something that I've been seeing trending online, which is Drake. Of course, Champagne Poppy has been a little bit disappointing in my perspective, but I really want to talk about the Stronger Woman, Stronger Drinks event that he had. Did you hear about this as well, Erica?
Vaguely. I feel like Drake has had a very active week in general in media.
He has. I feel like one of the biggest things with this is that, well, number one, this isn't his first time doing it. This is his third time doing it. So it's interesting that it's making that much of a headline, but what's kind of funny to me is that while he was able to gift women, especially a few women, lots of money, every person who attended was able to make almost at least $1,000. What seems to be good on paper is he's helping women, he's providing resources, the capital that they need for their creative projects. Yet, within the next few days, he did a 20v1, which, in my opinion, is a little bit contradictory. He is talking about empowering women, providing a space for them to network, and then immediately using them as a source of entertainment. I'm not happy about that. But I want to get your thoughts, Erica. What's your thought?
I mean, the juxtaposition is loud with that one for sure, but I believe that Drake is just sort of I don't know, he's almost like a clown to some extent. You know, he's going to do a lot of things that are just going to get him a lot of attention. Whether or not it's genuine, who's to say?
Truly. And my real question here, though, is do we believe that he is here to support women and provide them with resources, or is he just doing it so he can get a caption that says support women?
I mean, TBH, Drake's music used to be very pro-girl. I used to be a huge Drake fan. I'll play the sad violin for that. But I would say that it feels like we're sort of a prop in what's happening now. So it's hard to say what's genuine. I mean, would I be upset about getting $1,000 and potentially a Birkin?
Nope.
Not saying that I would be mad about that, but at the same time, I don't know that he's necessarily doing it out of being genuine, but just kind of recognizing that women are still a substantial part of his audience, and he does kind of have to continue to cater to us to some extent if he wants the streams, the listens, and the publicity.
I agree, and I think it's really interesting that he is specifically, again, most of the attendees were Black women, right? And it's this idea that Black women are the most educated out of the entire workforce, out of the entire demographic. We also dictate a lot of cultural trends, and we are a barometer, right? If it passes our vibe check, then it's okay to an extent.
Definitely.
And I feel like, to me, it's interesting because at first I thought it was just him, you know, kind of making amends for how tough of a year or the past 18 months has been for him since the Kendrick beef. Then he goes on a show called 20v1, which really came back from the actual beef itself. So to me, it's like you are playing into the fact that you are a clown.
Right.
And I do have to say he is standing on business at that in that particular instance. He is standing on business. He knows that he is a contradiction. But at the same time, I don't think he cares that the message is landing. I don't know if he's trying to save his public image or he is just trying to, again, get free PR as we are all talking about him right now.
Definitely. I mean, if he's standing 10 toes down on anything, it's definitely the latest publicity stunt. Even down to the 20v1 stream with the person that he chose. Like,
oh my.
You know, I mean, to each their own. And he let us know that that was his type. on an earlier on an earlier interview that he was feeling a goth baddie and he thought we wouldn't be able to understand. And that's someone who was like kind of a closeted goth myself growing up. So no shade, no shade, but I think that it's that contradiction from supporting Black women and then like what he really wants is a big-breasted white woman.
Ooh, speak on it. Seriously. And that's a really good thing. I didn't even clock that. Again. I forget that he is half white. It's popping out. It's popping out right now. I can see it. All right. Well, my verdict is, I don't know if he's standing on business. I will have to say I'm impartial because he does draw in a really good question of, again, going back to the dinner, there's a line. Is there a line when it comes to generosity in terms of, are you going to be generous for the sake of getting attention for it? Does that devalue the action itself? Or can we just say, at the end of the day, you got the money, he had the capital, let's just call it even? So I'm going to say impartial, but
I think he's standing on business.
What?
Yeah, he's staying true to how we know Drake to be.
Okay. Fair. I'll give you that. All right. Awesome. So let's turn over to your.
Yes. So I came across a headline where A$AP Rocky slid into the DMs of a very prominent graphic designer and showed interest in working together to do some rebranding. And that graphic designer was really excited to get a DM from A$AP Rocky inquiring his rates, and he immediately made a post, put it on his stories as well, and then A$AP slid into those comments of said posts and was like, never mind,
Corny.
I take it back.
Corny.
I mean, to any creative out there, I know it's super exciting when you get that like major client or a celebrity notices your work, but to just put the cart before the horse and talk about the project before anything has been signed, anything has been agreed upon, or at the very least you've gotten permission, is just, that's not standing on business.
It's not. Did you know though that he actually doesn't really design logos, he just redesigns other people's existing logos?
I mean, that's very
Isn't that
niche
crazy?
and so cool though. I mean it could have been,
it could have been, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like you don't even make something from scratch. You just kind of reinvent the wheel with your own perspective and take, which is cool, but it adds more clown behavior to me. And I'm like, come on, you don't really need that if you got that.
I definitely see that. I can see that perspective for sure. But especially from like A$AP's perspective, if that is specifically what he's looking for, if he was looking to do a rebrand with something that he'd already created and he's familiar with this artist's work, specializing in rebranding, he really kind of shot himself in the foot.
Yeah. And what advice would you give to creatives who get really excited about certain things? Like, I feel like for me, I personally wouldn't say anything until the contract was signed, until the deposit was done. Honestly, given my track record, until the actual project is finished, the project needs to be done, and then I need to make sure that I pass that net 30, net 45, and then I'm good.
You see it when it's done. As someone who, like, I would love to work with someone like Beyonce, and I know that she is notorious for that. Okay, come on, manifest, call me B. Her NDAs are, like, strong. People are holding on to those projects for months, years even. Yeah. So I would err more on the side of when it's greenlit to be like shared with the general public, but at the very least getting permission from the client, from the artist, if you can share that is something that is in the works, then sure. But nah. Too soon. Yeah, definitely not standing on business. Standing on hopes and dreams.
Ooh, and then they crumbled.
And they crumbled.
It's interesting though, because to me, I'm trying to understand. I get the excitement, but what was the intention behind it? Was it to just let people? Was it really a clout thing, or was it more like I'm trying to just step into his shoes and somewhat empathize, and I can't.
I mean, it's probably difficult for us because we've admittedly been under posters and not really sharing what we do or like celebrating our work. So of course we can't, of course we can't relate. But I do think that there's this culture within social media of like everyone's trying to be the first, even if they're not the most accurate, or if they don't have all the information, or if they don't have permission. Everyone wants to be the first, and they want that clout, they want that recognition. So I could see how something like that landing in your inbox is like, I gotta tell everybody that, like,
that was a test.
look who's hitting me up. It literally
said, I'm never doing
let me
that
take it right back.
No, never ever. I was like, learn your lesson, sit with it. Sit with that. Amazing. So the verdict is on this poor fella.
No, not standing on business. I'm sorry, not that one. No, but you know who was standing on business? ASAP Rocky.
No, I feel like I would go into hermit mode. You would never hear from me. I would come out 18 months later, a new person, new name, because that's tough.
Yeah, I would rebrand.
I would rebrand. I would change my name.
Definitely that.
Hair color.
Bare minimum.
Truly, maybe a new country at that too. Well, speaking of, I would say on the flip side, switching over to the other person who is currently up for debate. Well, not really up for debate, but I guess we're putting her in a court of some sort. Sadie Sink. Or is it Sadie Sink, right?
I think so.
Sadie Sink, she is on Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it was just announced that she is joining Spider-Man. And that has been a secret for 2 years. So as you can tell, one person got a DM and immediately told the world. The other one literally was on the last few seasons. All of her co-hosts, all of her co-stars were all sad, crying, and yet she kept her mouth shut the whole time. She was sitting on a bad boy piece of information. And then finally, when MCU said it was time, it came out, and again, like, it just shows you, right? Someone who's been in the game for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Stranger Things was probably one of her biggest breakout roles. And while her other co-stars were again mourning the seasons that they're no longer going to be in, she was already out making moves behind the scenes, and that's how you should move, and that's how I think you guys should stand on business. Keep it
Moving
shut.
in silence.
Move in silence. What did they say? Real G's move in silence.
I
like
think
lasagna.
so, like lasagna. As corny as it sounds, it's kind of true.
It really is, and let me tell you, I don't move in silence. I keep telling people I'm moving in silence. Two weeks later, not even 2 days later, I got a microphone in my hand. I was like, is this thing on?
Hey, you guys.
I have things to share. I do understand the excitement, right? But
Definitely.
at the same time, the gravity of getting MCU, which is a very big star-defining role to get, right? And then again, not to say that they're on the same level per se, but one is an opportunity and the other one's like a career-defining role, which probably makes more sense why there's a level of being a lot more to yourself for that.
I could keep that secret.
Yeah.
I could keep it for 2 years. But, you know, if I were ever to want to share a secret with someone, I would call Sadie. She got me. That's a vault over there.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Erica.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Well, for today, we will be having our lovely guest. Today's conversation is about what happens when we stop looking only at the thing that was created and start asking ourselves what conditions created it. Because my guest today made an entire body of work by asking that question about himself. Stay tuned. We'll actually play one of his tracks, and then we will have him on. This is Telly by Kory of Jory. Before techno became a global sound, it was a black sound. It came out of Detroit, a city shaped by the auto industry and then abandoned by it. High unemployment, emptying neighborhoods, machines sitting quietly. And the people making this music worked with what was around them. The warehouse had a sound. The machines had a rhythm. Limitation became the instrument. People pulled their cars into the streets, played techno through their speakers, and danced. For free, no one paid to dance. Then the clubs filled up. The sound traveled to Berlin, the Netherlands, festival stages, and became harder, bigger, more industrial. And some of that music is incredible. That's not the argument. But the real question is, what happened to the address? Today, techno and most people think Berlin. Berlin is a style. Detroit is an origin. Kevin Saunderson, Jeff Mills, the people and conditions that built their music aren't footnotes, they're the foundation. And usually the conversation becomes, we need more black DJs on these lineups. That's true, but it's also the smallest version of that question, because my guest gave me a bigger one. He said, everyone's always talking about the product. No one's talking about the environment. You always talk about the item that shipped, never the warehouse it was created in. He was talking about his own life, but I couldn't stop thinking about what it means for techno. We keep looking at the product, who's getting booked, whose name is on the flyer, while ignoring the conditions that created the music in the first place. The free dance floor, the improvisation, the room people built for themselves. And that's what brings me to today's guest. Kory of Jory is a genre-less DJ and producer built around low frequencies and unfinished feeling. He's been a DJ for about a year, and in that year, he made Documents, an ongoing body of work built from heartbreak, accountability, and the people who shaped them. He spent $200 of his last $220 on a drum pad and turned that decision into an entire album. He calls himself a mirror. His word for his brand is acceptance. And what makes his story interesting is that he didn't just make music to escape what he was feeling. He built a room to sit inside. So today we're talking about erasure, ownership, and the warehouse, the conditions that shape the product, whether we're talking about a person or a genre. Kory, welcome to SOBradio.
It's awesome to be here.
Thank you for having us. So how are you doing today before we get into Documents?
I'm doing pretty good. Had a quick travel from Philly. Was really excited for this.
Yay.
This is my first real interview as an artist. Let's kick it.
I know.
Yeah.
So before we get into your latest project, who is Kory right now? Where are you in life today?
Kory is really just a man trying to rebuild himself. Where I'm at right now, I just made a massive restart into the man I want to be. And that process is gritty, really. So, Kory right now is just a man who's trying to rebuild. That's really it.
And what does rebuilding look like to you now? What are some things that you're prioritizing?
Really just ending cycles, whether it's just financial, emotional, just lots of education on pattern recognition. And stopping myself in my tracks.
What is a loop that you keep finding yourself in? Or at least you're like, finally, you trapped that bitch.
I think right now the biggest one was emotional reliability.
Describe that.
I found myself constantly returning to a comfort zone that I know wasn't good for me. I had this problem where I was constantly making halfway relationships. Where, I put that in my head. No, I kept going a week, 2 weeks, building relationships, getting to know somebody, and then on the second week I'm I'm just gonna leave this dead, right? It's not even gonna be I'm just done.
Damn.
It's just you just leave it in purgatory, and I don't want to do that anymore.
Was there? I mean, we don't have to get into this, but was it just what made you kind of just drop it? Was it just you weren't feeling it, or you realized on to the next thing, or you were just bored?
I started taking my life seriously.
Oop, that part.
And I always thought I was taking my life seriously as an adult, but certain triggers and certain things happen to you in life where you realize you do have a lot to lose. So I just started taking my life seriously. people don't deserve that.
They don't.
You know, so.
Well, let's do it on the flip side, something a little bit more positive.
Yeah.
What does peace look like for you now after everything you've processed?
Oh, peace, sitting at home making music.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I wish I could do that all the time.
And so do you create some sort of ritual for yourself, or what kind of happens when you get that lightning rod of inspiration?
Oh man, I pull out my drum pad, and I just really just kind of like sample some sounds. Like, you know, everybody hates on like sampling and stuff like that, but I'll just go through a million different sounds. Like, I'm a DJ first before I'm an artist, so I'm used to selecting. You know, not too used to creating. So naturally, you know, I just go through so many different sounds, and I play with it, and I play with different tempos, and eventually I just fall into a cadence.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So you said, again, you've only been DJing for a year.
Yeah.
And then you made documents also within that year.
Yeah.
How did that happen? How did that come about?
I'm just such an emotional person. I'm such a passionate person.
You are passionate. That's a much better word.
I'm such a passionate person. And when I became a DJ, I always envisioned myself on where I wanted to play. Always wanted to play big venues. Always wanted to get the recognition. I didn't just want to be like a local going to the club. Like, yeah, I'll spend for my friends. And so I started doing research, you know what I mean? And like from the very beginning, it was like, oh, you got to make your own music. You got to make your music. I never knew what the process looked like until I got really passionate about what I was going through in life.
Yeah.
And so I just full send, and I was just like, yo, I'm going through this, and there's no song in the world that I can play that can convey what I want my dance floor to feel.
Yeah.
So I just started shopping around. I went to Logic, I went to Ableton, all these different DAWs, and I settled on Ableton. I just started playing with some sounds, and then I went through a really traumatic heartbreak, you know, self-inflicted, unfortunately. And I said, you know, I'm just going to go get some equipment that'll make me feel, you know, convicted that I'm going to do this. And naturally, I just started making music.
I love that.
Yeah.
And what about the process surprised you the most about yourself?
Oh, man. I think just that, like, there is no... Like, I have no excuse for conviction.
And how would you describe conviction? So I always find that it's interesting to hear how people describe it and then use it. And it's like, that's a very integral word.
I think conviction is like the strongest force of willpower.
Ooh.
When you're a convicted person, you're going to do something no matter what, and nobody can stop you.
Boy.
Yeah, you gotta see it through. You gotta stand on business.
You gotta stand on business.
Yeah, you gotta stand on business. So
I always love that.
That's really what it was. Like, I just had to be convicted. Had to. Yeah.
And so, I mean, talking about standing on business, again, you talked about a journey that I feel like so many creatives and artists have gone through, which is you're down to your last 220 and you have this thing on your heart. And then you said, $200 bet I'm going to get these drum pads. Walk us through the initial, you know, inspiration or kind of push to do this and when you bought it and kind of what was going through your mind. Because again, so many of us hold on to stability, right? And they're scared, even though there is this thing that's deeply inside of them that wants to come out. How did you kind of balance that?
I mean, so earlier, you know, we kind of mentioned like halfway relationships, right?
Yeah.
And the first halfway relationship I ended was with myself.
Oh, wait, that's a bar. Repeat that. Repeat that again. Hear that.
No, yeah. The first halfway relationship I ended was with myself.
Yeah.
And I always found myself trying to do something, but not like fully like going into it. So like, you know, given my financial situation, the things I want to do for myself, I was like, you know, I just need to fully invest in myself and take a risk, really. Like, I've always been a risk taker, but again, it's always like halfway. So I was like, you know, I'm just gonna do it. I really like wanted to get a drum pad specifically. Like, I love like the idea of being a live performance DJ.
Yeah.
So I found the most reliable one within my budget, and I came across my launch pad, $200. I starved before, but I wanted to make music. So I was like, whatever, that's fine. Why not?
The food will come. The food will come. No, I feel you. And I've been in that situation myself as well. But it's kind of a nod to the universe saying that if I make this one little inclination or move in this direction, that means I'm game.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of what you did. And it's interesting when you kind of, again, talked about you being a DJ and a selector. walk us through the process of getting that drum pad. Like, you did your research of the different softwares.
Yeah.
How do you even kind of begin? You had different samples. Like, walk us through that process.
To any artist that wants to get into music, I would highly recommend, like, you have to find like an inspiration. Like, you have to find something to mimic before you can create your own. And for me, I was obsessed with Fred.
Yeah.
For those listening, like, Fred again is like this world-renowned Grammy award-winning producer, and he has a very specific, unique skill in finger drumming. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, there's nobody like him as far as I care.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to be like him, and I said if I wanted to be an artist, I'm going to incorporate that. So I picked up like some drumming lessons, and then
Did you go somewhere for that?
No. It was online. It's an app called Melodics. Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
fun.
It came with my
Okay.
little launch pad. So I was like, okay. So I started doing that, and then naturally, like, as a DJ, like, sounds. So I was just like, okay, these are sounds I think drumming would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a ton of Fred interviews and watched him drum and how he was manipulating his drum pad. And the rest is just like history. I just kind of got a grip from there.
Yeah, something I have to say with Fred again is that I love how much he talked about the relationship to music and daily life, and how he samples noises, conversations, things that he hears, and that's his source of
So
inspiration.
admirable, yeah.
And how do you kind of, not say mimic, but use that as your own kind of tool to create some of the sounds you have within documents?
It's just my weapon. I've always been an
Straight shooter.
authentic person. And we unfortunately live in a time where, like, music is getting like very automated.
Yeah.
So people are always searching for that sense of community, that sense of humanity in the music. So I just thought, why the most human thing, the biggest call to action you could have is a voice.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, let me sample my life. Like, let me sample things that people hear every single day.
Yeah.
You know, a producer A and producer B could use the same snare. Only one of them have the voice that's on that track.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
It's interesting. So, I mean, taking us back to a time before you created documents, right? You talked about the importance of your voice. Now, on the flip side, what did the silence feel like for you, right? Not being able to act or be able to put words to what you're feeling.
It was just so like constricting. I've always felt like, again, I'm a passionate person.
Where did you channel that passion before? Because it was there, right?
Yeah, but it was just like, I channeled it honestly into nightlife.
No, that's real.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a very real thing.
and like, I had so many excuses as to why to do it. You know, I was a big bartender for a really long time, and naturally, the environments I found myself in was enough to like cope. So I just drowned myself in work, drowned myself in what came with the work, and then one day I just didn't want to do that, and I really sat with that.
Yeah.
And it was really uncomfortable. Still is a little bit.
It always is.
But yeah, that's really how I just dealt with it. Nightlife,
Yeah.
real vices.
And how did it feel post heartbreak?
Dog.
I'm so sorry. I'm
No,
like, we're
it's all
going
good.
there. I'm
It's all
sorry.
good. It's all good.
I felt that dog.
Yeah, nah, it was just devastating. And like, I truly do say this as a man. When you realize your shortcomings as a man, the first step to repair is like unbelievably tough.
Yeah.
And I was sitting with that. And it's not even like I can sit there and like blame somebody or blame something. Like, these are my actions, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a really weird moment to sit in, you know? So
Accountability.
yeah.
It was a moment of just sitting with was it more of like all of your past actions and thoughts coming together? Everything. It was
everything.
just overwhelmed.
Yeah, all the relationships you've had, whether you could have saved them or not. Were you really the problem? Were you not the problem? Just a myriad of things, and it's all at once, and it's like a really like a reverse catharsis.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
But at some point, you said, I can't do this anymore.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So walk us through that time. Like, what specifically hit you where you're like, I can't go out like this?
I was really just laying at home. It wasn't even my home at the time. I was staying with my best friend. And I woke up and I just like kind of looked around the room, and I thought about everything I've accomplished. You know, everything I've ever touched, I've always been quote unquote prodigious about it. So I was just like, man, dog, like, I'm so sad. If I'm not disciplined about things, like I'm just gonna lose it.
Yeah.
And I don't deserve that.
Yeah.
Because somewhere inside there's this really talented kid
The dog.
that just wanted to see the world let him shine. So I really just dug into that. I thought about all the great through all that, and I was like, you know what? Even if I'm going through this, I can still do better.
Yeah.
The world doesn't stop when my heart breaks.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was just like,
That's beautiful.
yeah.
So would you describe it as a moment of surrender or a moment of fight?
Probably surrender for sure.
Wow.
And I say surrender not in the sense that it made me feel like I was weak,
Yeah.
but just to really accept what cycle I fell into.
Yeah. And how would you describe that cycle? I feel like many of us have gone through that. As a person who also grew up feeling very gifted, I thought I was a prophet. I was like, oh,
Facts.
I'm really that bitch.
Right.
But then I lost it.
Yeah.
I turned into, I wouldn't say lazy, unmotivated.
Yeah.
And basically went into the whole kind of wave that everyone else is, a monotony of life. And it wasn't until a heartbreak that I woke up again.
Sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
It's always a heartbreak. It's just son of a bitch.
It's the worst, yo.
See, SOBradio. It works. But yeah, describe what cycle that was for you and how you kind of use this album as a redemption.
Yeah, it was just like the overlay of the halfway relationships. Eventually, it was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just kept counting, and then I just lost track of where I was with all of these, relationships.
Yeah.
And they just collapsed on each other like a fall of cards, or like a house of cards. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And so naturally, like it just became a thing where it really just became unsustainable. Like I really wish I could sit here and run you through the process.
No, we don't.
But like
I don't want to bring you back there.
No, it's not even that, because I've done the work,
Yes.
It's just a click. Like, it's just a click. One day you just wake up and you're just like, I can't do this. Like, I don't know.
Fed up.
There's no word for it. It's just a feeling.
Yeah.
Straight up. Yeah. It's just like a snap.
I would also say it's a moment where you finally chose yourself.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think at some point you said you most of your life really didn't choose yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You did it you did it in the most selfish ways. How would you describe that? Or what does that mean to you to do something and being selfish when you choose yourself?
When you decide to choose yourself, there's lots of conflict. And that's because no matter what we say, like as a species, we're very communal people.
Yeah.
Like relationships and those around us are very important. So when you do decide to choose yourself, you're low key like pulling back from the community. So naturally, like I found myself in so much conflict.
Yeah.
Like so much, like really extreme. And everybody's their own person. Some relationships are more extreme than others. It was just really conflicting.
Yeah. And did you confuse independence with isolation or independence with selfishness? Or was it more of a timing thing and things just were bubbled up to a point in which you're like, okay, now I have to pull out, which is going to seem pretty selfish because that's me. No, I'd be leaving the stove on a little bit.
Yeah. But that's fun.
The burner
sometimes.
is cooking a little too hot.
I feel like I married them, like independence and isolation, like I put them together. And
really?
Yeah, always.
Is it still like that?
No, sort of. Yeah, no. So I think in this current state, right, of independence and isolation, which I think I'm at right now, I kind of found like the green in my ego, before there was like lots of red.
Wow, that's a beautiful way of describing it.
Yeah, but now
it's still good to have a healthy ego.
Right, and now it's kind of like when I do isolate, it's not in the name of like protecting the world. It's more in the name of building for it, So, yeah, I married them.
Yeah, that's a beautiful distinction.
Thank you.
I find that we place a lot of labels on things so that it can help with our own understanding. Right. Language is super important. And I think you talked about when you were, again, growing up, you had this shift in your own understanding of self based off of the labels that people placed on you.
Right.
So how did that affect the way you saw yourself growing up, or at least now when you did that moment of self-reflection over the last year?
Massive identity crisis.
Deadass.
Yeah, massive identity crisis. I always had this feeling that I was going to be great, but
you are.
My life wasn't reflecting it though, or at least my surroundings wasn't reflecting that. So yeah, total identity crisis.
And how did that affect the way you saw yourself?
I just started that cycle of the halfway relationships.
Yeah.
Like I would get really, I would start off.
So you see
very
people
excited.
as a mirror. They were a mirror to you.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah, I would get excited, and then like as it develops, a passion would just drift. You know, so.
And then so was this something that maybe they have relationships, or did it always apply to just relationships or also things you were doing?
Yeah, things I was doing for sure. Discipline, like discipline for things I wanted to engage in. Unless like I was really obsessed. I've always had like fixations throughout my life.
Yeah.
But just trying to be like well-rounded in the things I do, yeah, it was everything.
Yeah.
But it really emphasized in my relationships.
Got it.
Yeah.
And I mean, going back to some of your childhood, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned being a salutatorian.
Valedictorian.
Valid. Oh.
He was number one.
Also, I didn't know that they gave that out.
Yeah.
During that time.
It was, my parents were shocked too.
They were so it was interesting because, like, again, you talked about being this prodigy, so gifted, it was natural to you, and then you switched schools. You went to a different neighborhood around other people who were just as brilliant as you. And I guess, how did that impact your ability in general to see yourself? Did it change how you moved? Did the kind of the half-ish attempt start to show up in a way? Because again, that's a shift for you, and you're kind of now competing with other quote unquote big dogs.
Right. Big dog.
Big dogs in middle school.
I think it was just such a massive cultural shift.
Yeah.
Like when you're like
And where
surrounded
did you
by
move
brilliance.
to and from?
I was in the Bronx. In the
Okay.
Bronx, and I came to Brooklyn. You know, we out here. But yeah, I went to MS61.
Shout out.
Yeah, Crown Heights.
Hey, that's where I live.
Yeah.
But I
We was
shouldn't
out
be telling
there
people that I don't
past the
live there.
Empire. But yeah, no, it was just a cultural shift when you're sticking out and then you're put into a pack where everybody is just as good as you.
Yeah.
That's when I got introduced to ego.
Ooh.
And not even on my end, just like taking in everybody else's.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, the world is dicey.
Yeah.
And, I'm like 10, so I'm like
going through puberty, mind you.
Yeah,
There's
I'm
a
like,
lot shifting within
whoa.
you, inside of you, mentally, emotionally.
Yeah.
And how do people take to that shift, right?
Right.
You started to show up differently, I assume?
Yeah. It was just, let's separate this, right? Like in school, it's a middle school. Kids is ruthless.
They really are.
They didn't care
I don't know. I was mean. I was a mean kid. I used to bully people. I had a burn book for people.
Oh my God, a burn book is
But
crazy.
it was a burn book for the bullies.
Okay, that's valid. I definitely.
I was for the people, always.
That's valid.
I was.
I feel like, in middle school, kids was ruthless. They didn't really care. And then, at home, it just got a little confusing.
Yeah.
Because, they were so used to results, my parents. And now it's just, we shifted. Now they're like, oh, what's going on, And ultimately, I'm holding the bag.
Yeah.
So it was just a little weird. I was just a little weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love how your accent just came out of nowhere. What
It'd
the
be
heck?
like that.
It really
Yeah,
just
I'm
came.
sorry.
I forgot the New Yorker really popped in. I was like,
It'd
whoa.
be on and off.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, so now going to childhood, let's talk about something that's helpful.
Right.
Who were some of the musical inspirations, artists that you really gravitated to during that time, and what did they mean to you?
Like as a kid?
As a kid, growing up, high school, middle school.
Yeah, high school. Well, middle school specifically, I loved Skrillex. I loved Deadmau5.
That was so interesting to me
Yeah. It was just like
because I didn't know that they were out that time.
Yeah, no, they were pretty big. But
I'm from Atlanta, so there is no way I was listening to that.
Right. No,
it was
I
would get bullied.
crazy
I got
idea.
bullied for reading. No, they were bullying people for reading Harry Potter.
Oh, that
Heck,
sucks.
no, to this day, I've
you need
never
a
read
hug?
it. No.
Okay.
I'm good. I don't need it. I don't need Harry Potter.
Awesome. Skrillex and Deadmau5 just kind of I thought his whole aesthetic was cool. And then Skrillex with his production, I was a gamer, so I was like, oh, this is super duper awesome. It kind of slowed down. I got to high school. I started tapping into my dad's roots. My dad was super into rappers like Rakim and stuff like that. But I gravitated towards Nas. And from Nas, I found out we had a modern Nas around, J. Cole.
Get out of here. That was awful.
And ever since then, That just kind of like shaped like my whole like upbringing through high school and college.
You
Cole was my
killed
man.
me. I have to be honest. I love doing a radio show because I love hearing people's perspectives and artists. But when it comes to J. Cole,
Bro, that's Nas's.
something in my spirit, he irks it.
Really?
Yes.
Man, that's my dog.
So
bro.
let's take a break against my own will to listen to some J. Cole. And the song that you chose was Land of Snakes.
That's my thing.
Why?
I got it tattooed on
No
me.
way, where?
Yeah, right here, the
shit.
Boris in the Crown in the
He's so
opening.
real about it. And I'm over here shitting on J.
I'm
Cole.
right
Apologies.
here. Nah, it's all love. It's all love. My opinion changed about him a little differently now, but
Yeah.
No, that song carried me through college.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it carried me through college. It really just taught me that the world isn't really rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was J. Cole in that song. Yeah, so
Well,
I like
J.
it.
Cole, aka Kory. Who knows, baby? Who knows? We'll be right back.
Shit, I used to roll down Louis Street, man. Look, know some hoes from the past, like, damn, Cole, wish I knew that you would be rich. Well, shit ass. Real be cool. Shit, I bet you do it like a tour. Shit, I used to roll down Louis Street, man. Bill on me, that bitch. 'Cause I'm sitting in my brother.
pretty
to me.
great. It's a great song.
It's really great to me, I guess.
It's like timeless.
It is timeless, except this was the first time I heard it.
Congratulations. You'll be hearing it till the end of time.
I don't know about that.
great
I don't know about
song.
that part. But switching gears, let's talk about documents.
Sure.
Now, something I really loved is, again, how open you are about what you experienced during this moment of self-reflection, of forcing yourself to sit in the silence and create from it. So you mentioned that this project was your way of making amends to all the women in your life. Can you describe what that means to you and why you chose to lead with that statement? I think it's a very powerful statement.
Throughout my life, earlier we spoke about like how nightlife was my coping mechanism, and women was a vice. Like not even in like a extremely intimate manner. Like it just so happened I was always surrounded by women, and naturally with the way my life was developing, with all these halfway relationships, women took the brunt of my nonsense.
Yeah.
Which was so unfair.
Take accountability.
Yeah, so
Take accountability.
so it only made sense. It only made sense that my first like initial project to like express myself would be to tackle the biggest problem I had, and that was being like a womanizer. So I really wanted to explain to people, or I explained to these women in my life how I affected them, how they affected me, how I viewed the world because of what I was going through, and just like things of that nature.
It's beautiful too, because I think you mentioned that it isn't just women that you had romantic relationships with. It's platonic. It's your mother, your daughter. How did you come at it from that perspective now?
What
was that story like?
Each relationship is just kind of like its own story, Each one had a different approach. With my mom, it was like very just like really reflective. Like I had to really sit down and think deep about that one. With my baby girl, like that was just like, that's always been my happy place.
Yeah.
So that was just super easy to like invoke, But, in terms of things like my mom, that song was just a culmination of good and bad feelings.
And that's the title of the track.
Yeah.
Mom.
Yeah.
And you said that it leans towards club.
Yeah.
Is that how you would describe, like, how do you make a song title, a song for a person, and then you think about them when you're building the musical construction of it?
Yeah.
So your mom's a who?
Yeah.
I can't like it.
When I was making that track, like I wanted to do like a clubbish track, and I was thinking about my relationship with my mom, or like how my mom is.
Yeah.
And I wanted a track that made people just like really like shake their bunkie.
Yeah. Bookie.
And just like be
Okay.
a bit more performative.
I like
you
it.
know, I wanted a track where people could feel performative.
Yeah.
So that's how that came about.
And then Orbs.
Yeah.
For your daughter.
Yeah,
Talk to
Orbs.
us about that.
Yeah,
It's
no,
beautiful.
that track was actually like my first like technically complicated track, and I was extremely proud of it. Yeah, that was like, that song is like, it's just a great song.
Yeah.
Like it ruminates like so much happiness into me. And I felt so happy making it. I stayed up for like 11 hours making that track.
OD, bro.
Yeah, it was like,
that's amazing though.
Yeah, no, I was up all night. It was like from like 7:00 p.m. I didn't go to bed till like 6:30.
Okay, well, actually, that it makes sense. I
Yeah.
feel like when you are in it and you're locked in, it's a Scorpio in us. I
Facts.
get locked in.
Facts.
You got to pull me out. I'm I'm in the tunnel. I can't get
You're
out.
in the pocket.
But what I loved is how you described that it brought you so much joy, but then it triggered the hell out of you at the same time.
Yeah.
So how do you describe something of that? Like, how are you happy, but yet it hurts as you're going through it? And is there a way that you move through it in a way that's gentle with yourself? Because that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you're like ripping like nonsense out of your being.
Jesus.
No, because like
He's over here doing an open heart surgery.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause-
On which one do you use? Ableton Logic?
Yeah, Ableton.
Literally
Yeah.
open heart surgery.
It's just like there isn't much room to be gentle with yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have to rip it from its roots. And so when I was making that song, like, yes, I had so much appreciation for my baby girl and how much she loves me, how much I love her. But on the flip side, there was so much work I have to put in to be the father she deserves.
Yeah.
And that song helps me realize and face that. So, I love you, baby, but at the time, it's like, I'm gonna do better for you, baby.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say, I think the first step of you acknowledging it and doing this work is a very big step in that direction, right? Like, I hope that you give yourself that moment to be like, I am working towards that. I am there. Everything else is just catching up, right?
Yeah.
You're just collecting all parts of yourself and reframing it or shaping it to be this new version of you.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Kory. And then you do this really cool thing where you include clips
Yeah.
in them. Talk to us about that and their real life. It's kind of like Fred again to an extent, right? How do you go about that? It's very, very scorpionic to me. Caught him out.
Yeah, because it's like, again, right? Like, starting as a DJ and transitioning into artistry, I don't want to be local. And
You're selling. Is it more selling yourself short, or is it that you just want
No, it's like, if you want to make it to the big leagues, like if you want to really express your story, you have to cause controversy. And
I like that.
I feel like the easiest way for my music to become controversial is to give people a direct step into my life so they can hear the voice of the people that speak to me. They can hear my reactions to situations I'm put in. People are nosy. So I was like, you know what?
Really are.
If I'm going to make a track and I'm going to express myself about it, I'm going to give the full thing to people. Oof. Yeah, this is exactly what I was going through when I was making this track. This is exactly what I was thinking about. That way you can sit there in that seat with me as I'm producing it.
Wow.
So yeah.
I love that. And it's also a way of you're inviting people in.
Yeah.
You're inviting the people in who know.
Leaving the door open.
Leaving the door
I like
open.
to leave the door
so
open.
it's like, it's your choice to either sit with it
Yeah.
or to talk about it and not even know. Either way, you're still the talk of the town.
Yeah, that's it.
I love that. And
Love
so
that song.
when you were creating it, you described it as the primary emotion being confusion.
Yes.
Articulate that a bit more. Like, how is it every track that you made left you confused still in the moment as you're processing that experience, or you know that there's more to this project?
When you wake up
Yes.
and you get dressed to start your day and you look in the mirror, the first thing you do is you check if anything's off. And no matter how many times you look in this mirror, you keep looking at it. The image is right in front of you. This mirror is exactly what's in front of you. But you keep looking at it to see if something's wrong, even though you've already accepted, okay, this is what this is. And that's just kind of like how I felt about the album. Like, I'm just listening back to it. I'm just like, this is great, but like, these feelings keep like kind of coming up in this.
So there's more that it's coming up for you to acknowledge and reflect.
Yeah,
So
like
it's like your own medicine.
every single listen, I feel differently about the song.
Yeah.
And even now, like I set it up where like I kind of adjust the songs as I go. Like 1 week it'll be one track, and then the next week I may have added like a drum or like something to invoke like melancholy or something
Yeah.
like that, you know?
So is it more that is it through the listens that you gain another puzzle piece about yourself or something else that comes up? Or is it that you're actually physically updating everything and adding more or removing something?
It's kind of like more of like the listening
Yeah.
track, like me listening, having other people receive it.
Yeah.
Like when you were telling me about like your listening experience to it, I thought it taught me so much about how I'm expressing myself.
Yeah.
I had another person explain to me that they really admired how my music was more like a sound bath.
Yeah,
to kind of just like
it
sit
is.
in like your feelings as you like go through it. And that taught me more about how I wanted to express myself. So
Yeah. I think something that I loved is that you say that you love techno.
yeah, that's my shit.
You love specifically playing around with low frequencies.
Yeah.
And you describe it kind of like a dungeon that you're creating, but it's pretty. It's really pretty.
It's a really pretty dungeon.
It's a
There's
really
flowers
pretty.
all over
Yeah,
the
it's like a
ceiling.
pink one.
It's like blue lights.
It's
Yeah.
really nice, but you intentionally did that so people could sit
Mm-hmm.
with the emotions that your music is bringing up for them. Kind of walk us through that artistic decision.
We grew up in a musical culture where it's all about the peak, right? It's all about the forgiveness. It's all about the release, right? the music is so emotional, and it doesn't really sit right with me that the only feeling we associate with our favorite songs is happiness. I think that's really interesting. So I wanted to make music for people that have their feelings stuck in time. You know, I don't want people to come to my festival showcase and they're like, oh my God, I'm gonna shake my bunkie, I'm gonna jump. I want people to sit there, like at the last 15 minutes of my set, lay down and really think about why they came to this experience, what they were so stressed about that made them feel like they needed to just sit in this with me, you know, things like that. So that's really just kind of how that goes. Like low frequencies, I just really want to invite people to feel moved.
Yeah,
no matter what it is. Yeah.
You want it to be an intentional sound bath.
Yeah.
But this time at the floor of Tomorrow World or Tomorrowland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're manifesting that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. EDC next year.
Hey, I think it's interesting because I come at it from a different perspective. I choose higher frequencies and I choose higher energy and a higher tempo because I see it as we feel, at least in my journey, desire is something temporary. Happiness is something temporary. Joy is something temporary.
Right.
And it's getting our body used to holding on to that joy and not just releasing it after in like a release.
Right.
Remember what it feels like and get comfortable because that's how we are meant to extend our lives, right? It's
Right.
not just, yes, sit with it, but also allow yourself to feel that joy and not
Sure.
believe it's temporary.
Sure.
So let's go into a lovely break because I want to talk a little bit about techno.
Yeah.
Specifically its roots, its origin, and
Love
both
that
of us being
conversation.
black DJs, what we're currently seeing and hearing in the lovely world.
Yeah.
We're going to go to your boy Frank. Not Frank, whoa.
Yeah, whoa,
Fred.
not too much
Frank.
of my man.
No, it's Fred again. It's Fred again.
I love that guy.
And the track that you chose for Fred again was... It is Angie.
Yes.
I've been lost.
Yeah,
Angie, I have
that's
been
my
lost. You are
song.
so funny
That's my
sometimes.
song. That song came
How did
to
you
me.
describe this? Yeah, when did it come to you?
Yo, it's just like it came to me when I had that I can't go down like this moment. You
I
know?
love that.
I can't like, and I listened to, if you listen to the whole album, like the whole
That was a
actual
fire
like
album.
two, it starts off so sad and it closes out with so much like closure.
Yeah,
That song is a great song.
I love
It's
that.
a great song.
Well, Angie, you've been found. JK, I'm playing it next.
No, for sure.
Love that.
I've been lost, I've been lost, I've been lost, I've been lost for a while. But I'm really trying. I've been lost, I've been lost, I've been lost, I've been lost for a while. But I'm What time we did it, man?
All right, so that was a fire tune. I'm not gonna lie, I love me some
great
Fred again.
song.
It's like one of those things where I was like, I love the fact when you were just coming up, and then now it's just annoying fans. But regardless of it, he still stands on business, in my opinion.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about techno. Tell us why you chose techno for the basis and the style of this music.
Techno is just so versatile.
Yeah.
Techno.
You said it was the most emotional genre.
Yeah.
Please, somebody explain that, because other people would be really confused to hear that.
Techno is so controversial.
I love that. You just love dances.
It's just because it's like techno. When people think of techno, everybody has a different opinion.
I love it.
Some people think of techno as like really hard industrial riffs, and other people think of techno as like really low, lost in the groove. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's a different opinion. There's no one way to experience techno, which is super duper cool. I love that. That's cool.
No, and I think it's beautiful, and it's also, you described that it turns a sad feeling into something relaxing.
Yeah.
How does it do that through the musical instruments, through the environment? Like, what specifically hits you in a way that makes that feeling turn into something that is
I think
calming?
Techno's foundation is just like the foundation of techno is just so hypnotizing. No matter how many different clothes you put on it, it is still that same sense of hypnosis. So, techno has turned into like, this lower frequency thing, deep dark dungeon stuff, but it has always still put you into this hypnosis. And when you're in hypnosis, you are relaxed, you're chill, you're calm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of how that works.
I mean, it's beautiful too, because I'm such a person to understand who injects that sound first,
Right.
and where they were at when it was created, right? So a lot of people hear techno and they think Berlin, they think the UK, they think hard style,
Right.
But that's just a style,
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
But the genre itself, its roots are from Detroit, right?
Right.
And as we were saying earlier, Jeff Mills, Kevin Saunderson, during that
guys.
time when they created this, right? It was something that they heard in their daily life that they were like, we're going to turn this into a beat. They created an environment so that people can also experience the exact thing that you described, and it was all done for free. But of course, somewhere along the line, capital came through, money came through,
Yeah.
people started putting tables in places that tables were not supposed to be there. The dance floor became a clout chasing promotional money grab. How do you feel like that has impacted what we hear today, or at least what people's perspective of techno is?
I think it's a double-edged sword. And I say that because, typically when, the capitalist pig puts their hands on things, it gets really tainted, right? And it just so happens that techno was such a beautiful thing that no matter how it's like melded, it becomes something really cool. So when I think techno started getting commercialized, with these big festivals, hard techno, like raw style, things like that, I think that's a really cool interpretation of the release that techno has given, So I'm not gonna say I welcome it, but it's interesting. It's interesting. I think it's cool.
And so you wouldn't say that, again, seeing that a lot of the big artists now are predominantly white.
Yeah.
You've argued that it doesn't necessarily say that they are whitewashing the roots itself.
Right.
It's, again, a different type of release that may fit that demographic.
I agree. Yeah.
And so what's your perspective on people saying, oh, the roots of techno is being whitewashed, we need more black DJs on the lineup? I think when you and I discussed that, it's just a little haze.
Yeah.
Like a little band-aid being ripped off. I don't think that's necessarily the case there.
Right. I think when it comes to techno specifically, there's room for lots of cultures in it, actually. When we are talking about techno being whitewashed, we're typically speaking about like, the roots of like hard techno, like, the Dutch and,
The Dutch,
and
the Netherlands,
Belgium and Germany. Whereas like, I think the soul of techno stays in Detroit, right? Like that groove, like the hard
not
groove
erased.
stuff. Yeah. And then when we're talking about like that soul of techno where it's black from that groove, Kevin, Jeff, when it went to Berlin, I think Berlin has an appreciation for the roots.
No, I
specifically.
agree.
Right. So like if we're like talking about like it being whitewashed, I don't think whitewash is a proper term. But I do think there is like some education to be had for people that don't listen to the root genre of techno, which is like that groovier.
Yeah, well, educate us.
Yeah,
People listening.
Yeah, so I mean, back in the 80s and the 90s, as you mentioned before, they were just hearing these sounds from the day to day. And then, the Bellevue Three, Kevin Saunderson, Jeff Mills, forget the last guy's name all the time.
He wasn't from Detroit, though. I remember that. I remember he came in after.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't getting the clout from New York.
Like
yeah, exactly. My bad, number 3. We'll figure it out.
It's okay. But no, they just kind of put together like this sound, right? Like this is a time where like music as a whole is starting to get commercialized. And so they were like playing out their car, playing in the clubs, and, these old instruments like TR-808s and TR-909s and stuff like that. And they really mastered it. And they were dreamers, so Kevin just took his sound all over. And Jeff went straight to Berlin and said, "Yo, I'm gonna put them on to this."
Yeah.
And naturally, like the people love Jeff. Like Berlin took him in so easily. Like, bro, even now he's like kind of like doing the shows and touring again. And I think that's so cool. And Kevin also, like, if you're in New York, he has his club Paragon.
Literally.
Paragon is one of the best places to hear techno. And like just in terms of like when it reached Berlin, naturally the neighboring towns heard about it, like Belgium, the Netherlands, and things of that nature. And they just kind of took their own spin on things. Also kind of like in like France. But they were like into more of like Detroit had like the low frequency synths, and then like the neighboring countries and stuff, they had like those high frequencies, like the stabs that you hear all the time in their dance tracks. And somebody woke up one day and said, I'm gonna put these two together, slow it down a little bit, and kind of make it my own. And that's just kind of what happened. I think that's where people get the whitewashing involved. But
it's like a distinction between influence, right, versus a straight out replacement.
True. Yes.
Right. Nothing is necessarily being erased or completely whitewashed. It's just influence. And is it more of an acknowledgement that's being needed, or just appreciation, or anything really?
I think acknowledgement for sure. Like, even now, it's like, it's not a serious gag, but like in the techno community, people will say, "Oh, you listen to groove, like you're so soft. Like, I want to hear like the hard style, and that's real
I would
techno."
be soft as hell if they heard my music. Shit.
It's like, it's
my
a little
BPMs are the
gag.
125, 135 max.
But there are some people that genuinely take that stuff to heart. It's like, come on, bro. Like, let's be for real right now.
Yeah, and I guess taking a step to the Black community, specifically within this, and hearing the conversation around more representation. That could be something that helps with the quote unquote erasure that is being experienced or perceived by others.
Right.
You believe that necessarily isn't the angle to take at it, right?
Right.
What do you think is the system that we need to really tackle in order for both parties to kind of feel recognized and also appreciated, and still go back to music at the end of the day?
We need a lot more confidence.
I love that you said that.
We need a lot more confidence. Like, it kind of hurts my soul when I see, like, I have a lot of Black DJ friends, obviously, and like they'll just kind of like spin like hip hop and R&B and things that are like typically commercialized for Black people. And then when they're off the decks, like we'll be like on the aux somewhere, and it'll be like a hard rock or some EDM. And I'm like, bro, why don't you spin that? And they're just like, oh,
That's me.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll be pulling up with the white boys. Hey, we're the tech house. It's a tech house. But it's fun.
Yeah, and it's like people should feel more confident in their sound. Like we're kind of in this thing where, like, again, it's commercialized. So DJs are forgetting it. You're an artist.
Yeah.
The point of you playing is to express yourself. You
Correct.
know, you're not, the crowd came to see you. Now, if you're getting your chops and, you know, you just want to get the visibility, that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, if you're
right?
here for just a check.
Yeah.
Right. But I think also that might be the problem
Right.
that we experience,
But
right?
if you want a check, why are you DJing? Get a job. You know
Oh.
what I'm saying? Like, where do you get a
It's so
job?
real. But
Like,
at the end of the day, people don't do that because it comes with a clout. It comes with a sense of lifestyle that they think that is attainable and
Can't
fun
have both,
and
man.
party all night when that's not the reality
No,
of being a
it's not.
DJ. So where do you think as a community, as you said, challenge ourselves? How does one become more confident in music or expressing themselves through music?
honestly, as DJ as it sounds, just crate dig, bro. Crate dig real
It's
deep.
not that deep. You're
Like,
right.
real deep.
It
Like,
really isn't, guys. They don't.
I-
People don't want to. People don't want to work anymore. Was that Kim K?
yeah.
That's Kim K. People don't want to work anymore. They think that they just have to listen to what everybody else is listening to.
No.
They go, oh, what was it, 1001? What was it, 10-0? That track listing that other people DJs play. What is that called?
Like Beatport 100.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't even look at that. I go straight for edits.
Right,
I go
exactly.
SoundCloud. I'm deep into SoundCloud.
It's like, you know, I was lucky enough to get my little bit of clout on pushing that agenda, right?
Yeah.
Like, yo, like if you want to play a certain song that you know people will love, get an edited version. That allows you to extend your palette a little bit more,
Correct.
you know? And there's a million edits of that one song. People just might love it. People just want to grasp on the familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a hip hop track that turns into a techno track and it's the same hook,
Thank you.
people are going to love it. They're going to love it.
People, it's like you have to understand as a DJ, you're creating a vibe.
You know what I'm saying?
You create a vibe, and that vibe is fluid.
It's so
There's no
easy.
genre. Genres, you're supposed to cross those boundaries, those
Push
lines.
that bill, yo. You don't have to jump off the deep end, but like, yo,
Move that
dip your
bill.
toe in that, yo.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we talk about this idea, though, going back to techno and how we talk about the item that was shipped and not the actual warehouse it was created in.
Right.
If we think about these DJs now, right, us
Right.
DJs, we are so focused on having the best set ever, getting it out the door, but we don't consider the environment that we're stepping into,
Mm-hmm.
right? As a DJ, I believe our job is to be of service
Yeah.
to the dance floor.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of us are there for our ego. How have you experienced that for yourself? And what are some things that you do to ensure that you're reading the room right? You're curating, you're a selector at the end of the day. You're also, I say, an investigator,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, again, I was lucky enough that I was in nightlife for so long as a bartender, so I kind of understand or understood the ins and outs of clout.
Yep.
Before I started stepping into a role where I could create it, you know. But it really taught me that, like, as I was going through this, it just taught me how to navigate people's egos.
Yeah.
I guess
That's a very big part.
you know, I started a collective, and naturally, when you group people together, other people want to join. And I started seeing what type of people wanted to engage, and it really helped me get a read on why people were trying to gain their visibility.
Can you describe some of the things that you found in this little investigation you did?
Yeah, for
What's the
sure.
report?
One thing I've been living by this year is the cost of community is inconvenience.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I have such thoughts on that.
Okay, we'll get into it. But I noticed that when people were engaging in the name of community, the moment they got a slight inconvenience, they were like all the way out, like not even like a toe out, like all the way out. And it really helped me just kind of like gauge how people operate as artists, you know?
Can you describe what you mean by an inconvenience that they experienced?
For example, I had this, I was running this program called Stoop Set, and I was getting so many
Wait, that's
inquiries.
literally how we met.
Yeah. I was getting so many inquiries about, you know, yo, can I play? Can I spin? Can I spin? Can I spin? And all I told them was, look, like, show up, come talk to us, you know? People didn't like that. People felt they were inconvenienced that they had to have a conversation and get to know people before they could showcase their art. That's nonsense. That's ridiculous.
To me, though, that's more of an entitlement.
Right. Which is crazy, though. We're all
Yeah.
starting from the bottom. Like, what are you entitled for? We're in the same shoes. Just because
Yeah.
I stepped off and said and showcased this platform, my platform is no bigger than yours.
Yeah.
Don't come to me thinking, you know, I should just. That's nonsense. That's silly.
Yeah.
That's very silly.
Again, going back to that phrase, the reason I'm just like, every time I hear it, I kind of like, oh my God, roll my eyes, is mainly because I just don't think the way that that was phrased is how it's meant to be, like how it's landed.
Okay.
To me, the cost of community isn't inconvenience. It's priority. Like you just, it's a priority, right? It's either it's a priority or not. And whether or not you deem it as a priority, therefore will dictate if that thing that you're having to do is an inconvenience
Right.
to you or not.
Right.
Right. So to me, the byproduct of something being inconvenient is whether or not I've already prioritized it. If I have prioritized it, that's never going to be an inconvenient to me.
Right.
It's just, again, I think a lot of us kind of going back to this idea of ownership, of accountability, we rather not do that and rather say that's an inconvenience, but I have to do that in order to receive what I want, which is community. I think it's take accountability that this is what you want and desire. And then the actions that you need to take will therefore dictate, is it inconvenient? If so, what can I do in this moment to not see it as an inconvenience and see it as a product of, you know, being around people, right? I think that it kind of lessens relationships to an extent.
Right. I
Right.
feel life is so fluid though, right? Like
I
you,
mean,
you
yeah.
speak about it as like priorities. Priorities, especially when it comes to people, are always shifting, you know?
True.
And I think that's kind of where like the inconvenient part comes into. Like, yeah, you're priority for me now, but you may have something really important coming up in a month, and I have something really important coming up in a month. Or like another
And that's a
friend has
communication.
something. Yeah, and I was just like, oh, but even
Yeah.
communication, just because we communicated doesn't mean it's not inconvenient. You know what I
True.
mean? So it's just like, you know, it's just very fluid. It's really fluid. Inconvenience is fluid.
Inconvenience. All right, I'll leave. I'll agree.
That's right. We'll just leave the door
We'll
open.
leave the door open.
Just leave the
Well,
door open.
shifting gears really
Yeah.
quickly before we go into the celebrity performance that you're going to do for us, we wanted to do this thing called the Pretty Lab. It's the frequency lab. Your music sounds really pretty. And I want you to
Thank you.
describe. He's a Libra rising, by the way, so it makes sense. I would love to go through an exercise, a thought exercise, so our audience can kind of also peruse and think about it as well. One of the things I love is how you've created a emotional dictionary for your sounds, right? So I'm going to go through different sounds,
Sure.
and I'd love for you to describe the emotion that it creates. What does it make you feel? And then how you use a specific musical instrument or something within your music production toolkit to bring that to life.
Yeah.
All right. Sound number one is a chime.
For a chime, wow, it's like a very pretty bell. Like, if I'm gonna like incorporate a chime, like I really want to share like nostalgia for people. Like
Interesting.
when I think of a chime, like I'll like chimes are very high. Like it's like a ding.
Yep.
You know, so like I like turn the highs really like all the way low, so you can get like the low frequency, almost like a bell. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like we'll just kind of like maybe like give it some space, maybe like an echo, like a reverb.
Yeah.
Because when you hear like a chime, like it's just like
What does it remind you of? Because you said nostalgia.
a chime. It's just kind of reminds me of like just like being like a toddler.
Really?
You know, yeah, like all the kids' TV shows, like Rugrats, for
you're
example, they
right.
always incorporated little chimes and kalimbas and
Yeah.
things like that. So it reminds me of like being a kid. Like I feel like a chime is the kill switch from adult to child.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'll use a
Interesting.
chime to incorporate nostalgia.
Okay. The next one is a steel drum.
A steel drum, like banging a warehouse. Oh yeah, wow, that's like urgency. Yeah, like if I'm gonna use a heavy steel drum, like I want you to know there's a call to action right now. You know, like you need to get up and do something. I don't know what it is. We better figure it out. You know, that's like heavy.
It's
Like
like a shock to the system.
yeah, especially
They're like,
like
wake the fuck up.
right. You know, and steel drums are always so cool when they're like distorted and
Yeah.
like crushed. That's like that's like a hard call to action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then a low frequency rumble.
Oh, that can be so many different things.
What do you want people to feel?
Oh, if I'm incorporating a rumble, anxiety.
What the heck?
Yeah, if I
Self-induced
cover-
anxiety on the
Yeah.
dance floor, adding that to the list of my to-do
Yeah,
list.
because everybody's always talks about like the drop and the tension.
Yeah.
I had some anxiety. Like, yo, can I get out of this groove? Like,
No!
that's cool. That
sounds like you're taking prisoners right now.
No, that's so cool. Like, why is the DJ making me tense? Like, that's weird. That's cool. That's cool as fuck. That's not awesome. That's awesome as hell.
Okay, the panning drone from your track Mom.
Wow, that's such a cool sound. I remember when I found it too.
Yeah, how'd you find it?
I was just kind of going through sounds and like I was listening to Fred's USB 002 and he uses a lot of like Skrillex and him uses a lot of like synths and drones and stuff like that. I was like, I want a drone. So, but I also wanted a drone that didn't sound like a sharp stab. I wanted a drone
Yeah.
that sounded like it was moving. So I found that one, I like panned it and I was like, oh, this is awesome. It sounds like the drone is like hovering beneath you. Or like you're sitting in a helicopter.
Yeah.
But no, that one, that also just kind of gives me like anxiety also, but in a purgatory way.
Huh?
Yeah,
that.
like when I think of that sound, I think of like you know the white buzz noise at the doctor's office.
Yep.
And you know you're at the doctor's office, and whether you like you're going for something, you're curious about something, but you never know if you'll need a shot. You might need a shot, you might not, but you'll never know until the doctor sees you.
That's almost wow. Why do you bring me there now? I don't
You know
feel
that-
so good.
right,
That's
you
why
know
I
what I'm
avoid the
saying?
doctor and the dentist.
And you don't know you're
They'll
getting
be
the
like, "You need a root
shot
canal."
until the very end of the visit. It's never like, yeah, what's up? You're getting the shot. It's always after like an hour.
Yeah.
It's the worst. That sound reminds me of that.
Wow. Well, switching gears,
Yeah.
we're going to end on the standing on business segment here before we transition over to our last track and
Okay.
over to you to perform.
Sure.
You said, I'm not a victim, I am a survivor, is the best way to describe you creating documents. What was that moment where you stopped asking yourself, why me?
Just kind of realizing that I am a man.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I thought about the things I've gone for my life. I'm a father. I've cultivated some really big relationships. I've inspired some people.
You've inspired me.
And thank you. And those things are really important. They're extremely important to people. So I just kind of acknowledged that. And I was just like, you know, everything I'm going through, everybody goes through life. You know, I'm no different.
Yeah.
And again, the world doesn't stop when my heart breaks. So I'm just going to
I wish it did low key.
I know, right? It'd be nice.
Just a little bit. Just give me 3 to 5 business days. That's it.
Facts.
And so on that flip side, what responsibility comes with survival though?
What responsibility comes with survival? Just like discipline.
Yeah.
Like in the sense of like, this is, you can't cope as much.
No.
You cannot, like, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
The moment you keep coping, it goes 6 feet under.
Yeah.
You
I
just
think it's
can't.
super important for us to also note that survival is also temporary,
True.
right? That
Yeah.
there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
True.
Always. And I think that's my version of responsibility is reminding myself I'm going to get out of the thick of
Yeah.
it. Out of the thick of it. I'm not gonna lie, I've been in the thick of it. No longer in the thick of it.
Right.
But you also describe yourself as a mirror, right?
Yeah.
And you saw this project as a mirror back to you, all your past relationships. What did it reflect back to you through people, through yourself?
Through people to myself? What do you mean?
Like, what did you reflect back to people, or what are you hoping to reflect back to them?
I'm really hoping to communicate to people that I'm human. I feel like I put myself into a lot of leadership roles. I put myself in a lot of big shoes, a lot of big expectations. And I made this album for everybody that meets me to know where my foundation for my leadership comes from.
That's beautiful.
Why I feel so braced all the time.
Yeah.
This is the root of me being so confident.
And let's say years from now, what do you hope people say about documents when it gives them permission to do?
I hope Documents enables, if you're listening right now,
Listen up.
I hope my album enables you to do something extremely human. And I don't mean a jumping jack. I don't mean run down the street butt naked. I want you to really tackle something that you can't see but you feel. I want you to sit there, listen to any song, and think about what made you feel like you were put on Earth. I really want you to sit with that, and I want you to sit with it for a very long time.
Damn, not me. I have to sit with that too. I have to sit with that too. Well, before we close this out, I'd love for you to finish this line. Standing on business means...
Yo, keeping it P, man. If you gonna stand on business, you gotta keep it P. You gotta go. You gotta full send, bro.
Truly, you
gotta
have to see it through.
You gotta see. There's no
You gotta see it
halfway
through, my boy.
relationships, yo. You gotta see it through. If you don't like something, cut it out. If you like something, go all in. That's it.
Oh, I love
it.
that. Well, Kory, before we transition over to you playing a few of your tracks and some upcoming music, do you want to tell the audience what to expect, where to find you, and any interesting projects coming up?
Yeah, so it's Kory of Jory. It's Kory with a K. Upcoming projects, man. I have so much in store. Really diving into this techno realm. Some of the stuff you'll hear today will be much more aggressive for all my hard techno heads. You can find me on Instagram at Kory of Jory. You can find me on TikTok at Kory of Jory. And that's just kind of really my lanes for real. Everything is connected from there. I hope you enjoy Documents. It's very much a sound bath, and everything coming up will be much groovier and much more intentional.
That was so beautiful.
Well, thank you.
So beautiful. Well, before we switch off and come get you set up, you're going to play Jeff Mills' Alarms. Tell us a little bit about why you chose this track.
Yo, that song is like the halfway point for techno. You know, it's like a little dark, but it's also a little groovy. Like that track is just, it's like you're in a club, but the club has palm trees.
Oh, I love it.
It's really, really cool. It's just, it's such a versatile track, and like you can tell he's playing it live. Like you can just tell. It's a great song. I love it.
Oh, amazing. Well, this is Jeff Mills. Alarms, sound the alarm. That's literally what comes to my mind.
Such a good song, yo. came for her, you got shook, huh? So tall. That's my shoulder. Don't use me for your support. Hi. 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 She will come back at you. You gonna bring it to her?
Dada, mommy. Oh, Dada.
Yeah, Dada, we can't go Dada.
One minute. Papa.
Papa, we just call Grandma Papa. Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? Hi. Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? Hi. Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? Hi. Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? Ah, you came for her, you got shook, huh? He gonna bring it.
you did that wrong, that would be amazing. I'm amazing, right? Yes.
This is where it all started. You're seeing great humble beginnings right now. So now you're looking at a future star, a future superstar. Someone who will go down and produce history as one of the most innovative hard techno DJ and producer just ever. You're looking at the most innovative, hard techno DJ producers ever. Someone will go down producing history. This is where it all started. Kory.
If you're a DJ at the club, I want you to stop locking in. I want you to start shaking your bunkie. Nobody enjoys the food from a chef that doesn't even look like he would eat it himself. Start shaking your bunkie behind the decks. Stop looking like at the laptop. Start dancing. Start gyrating. Start looking like you're enjoying the music that you're playing. But we have so many wall warriors because the DJ looks like a wall warrior. That's why. You look like you've been playing this shit a million times. I can see it in your face. I can literally see. Start shaking your booty. When you club, that shit the culture like everybody says they're trying to do. Start shaking your bunkie behind the deck. Start.